Might have been very good by now. And then a year or two ago, I came across Ninox, and my original plan with Ninox was to use it to build a number of applications, which I've done, and to find a way to sell those, which is picking up slowly, and also to offer my services to people as a consultant to help them if they don't have time to build stuff themselves. Ninox is pretty easy in comparison with lots of other products of similar, I don't know, objectives might be the best way of putting it, and very much more capable than most at the same time, which is an unusual mix. Usually find things that they're very easy, they don't do anything, and vice versa. So as soon as I came across Ninox, I got pretty impressed pretty quickly. Asked to become a partner. I don't think I'd even had to pay for my license by the time I took that step. And here I am, which has been a fun journey so far. And the one thing I would say about Ninox is their support for customers generally, and partners in particular, is very, very good. We have a weekly conversation with Morris as a group, which, you know, quite a reasonable number of people turn up to every week. And it all works pretty well. So the basic idea is we're here around the world to help Ninox spread the word and provide support to customers. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's great, Julian. And just to clarify for everyone on board, were you a developer by trade before you got started on some of these no-code platforms? And I know that you've worked on a few of these platforms, so maybe you want to talk about the ones that you've used as well, and why you've ended up working so much with Ninox.
Okay. Was I a developer? I was an amateur. A long time ago, as I said, I set up a human resources software company, and I built that product myself initially with Microsoft Access, starting with Access 2, I think, which was a long time ago. And in a way, you could very much see Access as the or Ninox is almost a direct descendant of Access in many ways, because they both have very good programming languages and pretty good capabilities to build good user interfaces and things like that. So I see quite a lot of commonality, really, except that all the things that IT used to hate about Access don't really exist in Ninox, because it's properly managed in the cloud and all that kind of thing, and it doesn't sort of encourage individual users to have weird stuff on their PCs that's all out of control. So it gets around a lot of that. So that's my background. I sort of became a reasonably decent amateur programmer with Access, but eventually I hired people who knew how to do it properly. And they took it forward. So I am actually very much a low-code stroke no-code kind of person, and I believe in it and have believed in it actually for I don't know, 25 years or something. You know, with my more sort of technical colleagues and now children, I have 2 children who are software developers. They think I'm a bit strange, but I think the no-code stroke or low-code or no-code or whatever you want to call it sort of world is actually getting far more sophisticated and far better at delivering real-world solutions than it ever has been. So it's pretty good. Its name's changed several times over the years, but basically, you know, what we have with Ninox is very similar for the modern world than what we used to have in the 90s with Access and even things before that. So anyway, what have I used before? So since selling my company, I looked around for various things, and I used Microsoft Access's a product called Access Web Apps for a while. As I say, they canned it just as my apps I built on it was starting to sell quite well on their app store. I literally had a business one day and no business the next day. It was literally as drastic as that. I had to give all my customers unlimited licenses because I couldn't really sell it anymore, and they had a year to get off it. So then I started to look around more, and I came across a number of products, some of which I still use quite a lot because I have clients with systems running on it. So there's a product called NAC, for example. Pretty good database. It's completely no code unless you like JavaScript, which I don't. It's not as pretty as Ninox. As I say, it doesn't have this fantastic formula stroke, language that Ninox has. It has a few advantages, like every product. But if you want to build something with business logic in it, Ninox is your boy. I was already using these products, and I was still frustrated enough to want to use something better. So that's why I was still looking. I've also toyed with and became a partner with, actually, and they won't, so for some reason, haven't removed me from their website. So I suppose I still am. With Zoho Creator, which I think quite a lot of people in the Ninox world have looked at alongside Ninox, and I'd say that's a great product as well, but I just don't like using it, and I don't use it anymore. It's very difficult to do very basic things like produce a nice looking screen with a subtable on it. So by that I would mean, say, an order page with a table of order items underneath. That's not as simple as you might imagine. With Creator. It has a similar language to Ninox's language. It's quite good. It's not quite as easy to use, but it's quite good. But again, I just don't like using it, so I don't.
Julian, I do want to touch on that point. You pointed out the Ninox script language and how you use it to extend the functionality of your solutions. This is something that we get into all the time, of questions around what's no code, what's low code, and where Ninox kind of sits. Can you talk about at least relative to other platforms, how much easier is it to extend that functionality? And if you had to use JavaScript like you would with NAC to write some of the codes that you do in Ninox script, how much extra time would that take?
Well, for a start with NAC, there's no support really for the language. So you've got an API documentation guide because you're basically writing API code in JavaScript, even if you write it kind of inside their UI. So it's fairly nasty code. I've got an example on my blog actually of Ninox against JavaScript in NAC. And I think it's 5 or 6 lines in Ninox code. I can't remember exactly what it did now, but it was about 25 lines of JavaScript, none of which were terribly user-friendly and weren't the sort of thing that, I think the key thing for a no-code or low-code, for that matter, environment is that the learning curve from beginning to end should be as stepless as possible. So the lovely thing about the Ninox code feature is that you start using it to do things like, calculate cost times price. Quantity times price to give you a total cost. And you pick 2 fields, you put an asterisk in between them, and job done. And that's your first sort of introduction to making code. And then somebody says to you, well, if you put an if here, you'll be able to, do something just, a bit more sophisticated. You learn about
And down the rabbit hole we go, right?
and down the rabbit hole you go. But the thing is, there doesn't seem to be a point at which you think, oh my God, it's going to take me hours and hours to learn how to do that. I mean, there are times when you're tearing your hair out because you can't work the logic out. Obviously, there always are. But it really is relatively seamless. And that was something that Access had going for it years ago, and still does because it still exists. But it's with something like NAC and various other products that are similar, the jump from using their sort of built-in formula features to writing JavaScript is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't already know JavaScript, you're really poking around in the dark.
Exactly.
And there's very little help. There are a few people on some of these forums and stuff who can make some suggestions, but you're really on your own, and their support team don't support you writing JavaScript, even though it's the only option for lots of things.
So to be clear, in order to get up and running and learn and write using the Ninox script language, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be someone who writes JavaScript or any other coding language. It's something that you can pick up gradually and get to know by doing.
And I've always felt that was the absolutely crucial thing with a no-code system. I mean, there are some great all no-code systems. There are some great no-code systems around. More and more every year. But generally speaking, there's at some point there seems to be a disconnect where you're either going to get further or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, clearly in Ninox, the hard things would be, I don't know, coding API links directly to other products and stuff like other platforms. That's proper programming, but very often you can get away with using Integromat to do that, which is generally what I do.
Absolutely, we are really value our partnership with Integromat, and I believe there's for those of you who want to do a little Googling, there's several videos of Julian integrating things with Integromat on YouTube currently.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a real fan of that as well. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful software products as well, and good fun. I seem to spend most of my day doing stuff with it, or at least part of my day doing stuff with it. So yeah, I mean, it's the key for me all the way along here was, I thought, great, I've found a product where you can start with the basics, you can get something decent done, and you can learn it really fast if you've done this kind of thing before. It'll be a little bit slower if you haven't, but you should be able
and what's the best way to do that, Julian? So like I'm a creator, I have ideas about how processes should be run. I've gotten into Ninox, I'm getting deeper. How should I educate myself on the platform to do some of these more complex things that you're talking about? What avenues did you use to learn?
Personally, I've always found it very difficult to learn any platform if I don't have a task in mind to do with it. Mm-hmm. So often when I come across a new platform and just trying to decide whether it's any good or not, I'll build one of two apps. I mean, parts of them. So for example, I might decide to try and do some absence management stuff or something, which a lot of platforms really struggle because of the calculations, and sort of try the basics of that in any new platform I look at. And with Ninox, that's actually not really that terrifying. It's quite terrifying if you've got to get stuck into JavaScript and API coding for a sort of non-programmer, but somebody who's okay with business logic. That's the way I generally do it. I've never found picking up a template and modifying it. Actually, I know that's sort of against the party line. I've never found that terribly helpful. Because first of all, you've got to understand the template, and then you've got to think, I wouldn't do it that way.
Oh yeah, reverse engineering is always tough.
Yeah, so I normally start from scratch, and I find it, if I manage to get somewhere with a few things that I know are difficult to do, then I know I found a good platform, and it's a good way to learn is to actually start doing something that you need. Mm-hmm. Whereas sitting down with a how-to article or something and following it isn't necessarily going to get you there because you don't have the motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what other people think of that, but that's my view. So anyway.
Gotcha. So Julian, your background, your kind of specialization is sort of around HR management. Yeah. How would you describe the way that companies are embracing digital transformation in that space particularly right now?
Okay, actually fairly broadly. I mean, going back enough time, software in that area was just about, I don't know, keeping an electronic filing cabinet of, people's absences and their holidays and their, I don't know, their salary and knowing what their salary is and all that kind of thing. It was pretty basic stuff. But fairly early on in the kind of web-based era, people started to implement lots of what's called self-service in HR software circles, facilities. So rather than you filling in a form to say, can I have a holiday next week? It would be fill it in online. That's where it probably all started. And nowadays, people will be doing that. They'll be doing appraisals. They'll be doing training through online delivery and monitoring people's performance in all sorts of ways, and everything relating to the relationship between you and your staff will be based on workflows and data that is shared between really three people. So it's the sort of management, the staff, and the HR department, and you kind of need to provide different access for different groups of people like that to see what they need to see.
Definitely. And with regards to how you're finding your projects and how you're leveraging your network, where would you say the bulk of your Ninox projects come from?
Quite a lot of my inquiries come from two places. One is my ordinary business website, which is just my KirknessAssociates.com.
Do you want to share where people can connect with you in the chat, Julian?
Sure. So whoops. So this is my.
Guys, Julian also has a blog where he's an active writer, in the no-code database space. So if you're looking for some comparisons to other platforms or just topics around database, you should check out Julian's blog as well.
Right, and I'm just putting the URLs of those in here on my data. Oh, hang on, can't type. So there are basically three websites that I run. So there's KirknessAssociates.com, which doesn't get that much love these days, but occasionally I put a blog post on there. There's onlinedatabase.expert, which is the blog site that Morris referred to. That's got some comparisons and some reviews of about 5 or 6 different platforms that I've used and liked to some extent or another, and various other things, stuff about using Integromat as a sort of programming language, which is necessary really for those tools I mentioned that don't have their own. But you could also do that with Ninox if you wanted, and for integrating the stuff. And also Online Database Solutions, which has a number of Ninox pre-written solutions that I've written, and a couple of others as well, and a few other bits and pieces. And if there are people who want to write solutions in Ninox and have somewhere to publish them, that's open to people as well. So if people want to publish stuff on there, they can. So, you know, if you want to write a, I don't know, vertical market solution or a CRM system or whatever, you can put them on there and other people can download them. It doesn't take care of any billing though, so bear that in mind. I actually put my apps on there password protected, and then charge people if they want to. They can use them for free, and then charge people if they want to have a password to unlock them and modify them. Not huge amounts of money, but yeah. So Alan has asked links to the blog, etc. There directly precede that comment in the chat. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do. My ultimate objective with Ninox would actually be generating a reasonable amount of income from the apps that I've produced, and then I can just sit here and count the money.
Everyone wants to be passive with the income, for sure, for sure.
I'm not that naive, though. I know that, you know, if you produce apps and things, you have to keep working on them and so on, and marketing them and all these kinds of things. So
absolutely,
it's not quite as easy as it sounds.
Okay, great. And just so that people can understand the way that your relationship works with us, we're not having any oversight over what Julian charges to his enterprise or startup clients. Our financial relationship with Julian is purely that we pay him a commission based on the sale of new Ninox licenses. Anything that he works out with his customers, that is a agreement between them, and we don't get involved in that. So he has the ability to run his business however he wants to run it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with quite a lot of support, which is quite nice. And we return it, like by sitting in on sessions like this. And I've got a couple of webinar sessions tomorrow that I'm hosting or co-hosting as well. So
yeah, definitely plug the webinars that you're hosting, Julian.
So in the UK, 2 of us partners are doing something called the Ninox Solution Bar, which has sort of got absorbed into the all-week webinars at the moment. Not quite sure what will happen after we're all locked down, but at the moment it's on Wednesday evenings at 5 UK time, I think it is. That came about because we had been planning to do physical meetups in the UK for Ninox users. We obviously can't physically meet anybody at all at the moment, so we're doing that instead, but might transition to physical meetings through the meetup platform afterwards. And also I'm doing a thing about building HR solutions. I've done a couple of sessions. I've got another one tomorrow lunchtime, so I was brushing up on that today, so we'll see where that goes tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, everyone, be sure to check out the webinar schedule for Julian's events. And Julian, appreciate you joining us here today. I'll jump into now just a short deck on the partner program, and we'll open it up for questions, from the group. Thank you, Julian.
You're okay if I leave? I have some stuff I need to do.
No worries. Appreciate having you, Julian.
Okay. All right. Speak soon.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. So that was Julian Kirkness, guys, one of our advanced partners, has been with us for a long time. We appreciate having him on today. Just going to jump into a short presentation to talk about the different ways that you can partner with Ninox. And if anybody has questions as we go through it, just feel free to shoot them in the chat, and we will answer those for you. All right. So as we mentioned, the Ninox platform is a place for builders, for creators, and this new movement that we're seeing around no code, low code, and as Julian spoke about, there's kind of some blurred lines between what's no code and what's low code, but this is reshaping the way that everyone is working. People are looking for business processes that work on all their devices, that match their workflows, and they need this stuff quickly, especially in times like this where everyone is working from home. They don't have time to wait for IT to come up with a solution. And this is a big opportunity for anybody who is familiar with these rapid application development tools, these low code tools like Ninox. This market is exploding rapidly. It's going to become what we believe will be standard practice, a standard core competency for business users in the future. So, right now we have over 1 billion spreadsheet users worldwide. It's something that's core for any business professional, and the hope and what we think we see in the future is that is going to be what it is for low code. We're going to have line of business professionals who are building websites, who are organizing data, who are automating processes, all with no code, low code platforms. And Ninox is really the platform to do this. So we talked a lot about the drag and drop tools that you can use to get up and running quickly, to organize workflows, to arrange forms. That's something that is low hanging fruit that anyone can do. And then we allow you to take it to the next level with NX Script to build really, complex complex solutions on the platform. I mean, it's a question not of what Ninox can do, but really what you can imagine here. As Julian was alluding, he really hasn't run into a point where it's going to take me forever to figure out how to build this on Ninox. This is something that can always, you can always reach out to the partner network. You can always bounce questions off of each other. We have a big network of creators that are developing things, and it's a great opportunity to just share what you're working on. This is a platform that we really want users to be implementing it within their organizations, and not just implementing solutions. So for our partners, what we see is going into a situation where they're not just creating a solution and saying, hey, this solves your problem. Our partners are actively training people within the organizations that they're working with. They're involved, throughout the sales cycle, and helping them to really drive innovation and drive digital transformation within their organizations. So if I'm working on the accounting team and I realize that this process doesn't make sense to me, if I'm working in a Ninox workplace where I've been trained to understand the way that this platform works, I can just create the process that I'm looking for and put it into practice that same day. And that's really the hope with these platforms. When we spoke a little bit about integrations earlier. The Ninox sits on a REST API, which allows us to really easily and beautifully build native integrations. But if you tune into our webinars every week, you'll see how well we work with Integromat and Zapier. You can integrate hundreds of different applications using these third-party partners, and it's not something to be intimidated by. Especially if you go to YouTube and check out some of the integrations that Julian, who was just on, has built using Integromat. The visual landscape that they use to organize the operations is really intuitive, is really powerful, and works great with Ninox. So this brings us to the moment of, how do we actually partner with Ninox, and really there's two paths. So the first path is going to be, the main path that you would take if you are a business technology company, if you're a builder, if you want to actually work with our users, you want to help people develop solutions, the solution partner program is going to make the most sense for you. The second program that we have is an affiliate program, and that's really for people who have a platform where they can share content and drive signups on the Ninox platform. So let's say that you're a blogger like Julian, if he wanted to post an affiliate link on his blog post, he could generate income that way. Or if you're a review website, that also makes sense. But for the most part, the solution partner program is going to be the right choice. And within this program, what you're going to get is you're going to get listed on our partner network. So I can actually pop over here to our network. So when you're ready to take the next step and to partner with Ninox, this is the page that you go to right here on our website. You can see the referral program, referral affiliate program for people who are just looking to share on their blog or on their website. The solution partner program, come to this page, click become a partner. We're going to ask for just some high level information, and we will schedule a call with you. We're going to want to see your website. We're going to want to understand what your near and long-term goals are, and we can figure out if it makes sense for us to work together. Oops, lost my share. Go. All right. So the relationship with our solution partners, as we were talking about with Julian, we are not involved in the day-to-day operations of your business. So if you want to go and you want to charge a single price, a fixed price for implementing a solution, that's fine. If you want to charge hourly, that's fine. We don't take a cut of that. We don't get involved in that. The financial agreement between Ninox and our partners is strictly based on the resale of Ninox licenses. For our new solution partners, we offer a 20% commission, and that commission is recurring. So if you sign up a new partner or a new customer today, and they sign up for 10 licenses, you would make 20% of those 10 licenses. If a year from now they upgrade and decide that they need 100 licenses for their organization, you're going to make a recurring 20% commission on that new revenue. Our partners get access to all kinds of exclusive partner resources. We do a big partner event here in Berlin every year. We're doing more partner events around the DACH region, and hopefully in the United States here in the next year, if we can ever get through this coronavirus madness. We offer co-marketing opportunities, things like blog posts, joining our webinars like Julian did earlier, landing pages, videos. Some of our partners also receive qualified leads. So we get so many signups every day. We have people who run into that, the wall that Julian, kind of discussed earlier, where maybe they need a little bit of help to get to the next level. And that's something that we expect. And that's why we really depend on this partner network, for people who love to solve these problems. They love to build things on this platform, to step in and work with our users directly, to help them get to the level where not only is their problem solved, but also where they now have the knowledge to attack the next problem. Again, the affiliate program is only going to be for people who are looking to share content and have somebody click an affiliate link to sign up for Ninox. And get a lot of questions about what's the difference between the affiliate program and the solution partner program. And the affiliate program is a non-recurring revenue commission. So it's you're putting an affiliate link on your website. If somebody clicks that and signs up, you make a commission based on the first year revenue, and that ends the financial arrangement with Ninox. This is kind of a side by side of the two programs. Again, you're going to see that the main difference is you're not officially affiliated with Ninox as an affiliate partner. You're just creating content. The solution partner program is where the vast majority of you would fall. So anybody who's running a consulting company, an IT company, anybody who wants to work directly with users would be part of the solution partner program. As Julian mentioned, we do weekly partner calls, and we really encourage a lot of interaction between our partners. Sometimes we'll have a new partner, and this is something that people ask all the time is, do I need to have a high level of technical knowledge, to be part of the program? And the answer is not necessarily. All of our partners are at different levels. We have different tiers for our partners, authorized, advanced, and premium. And some partners are working, just with small mom and pop organizations who need help organizing their accounting or need help organizing their contacts. And other partners are working on very advanced API integrations. Sometimes we'll have a partner who has won a deal, they're working with somebody, it becomes a little too complex, and they'll just connect to another one of the partners in the network and figure out a solution to execute for their customer. So we definitely encourage that collaboration between our partners, and we offer avenues to facilitate those connections. We have a partner Slack group, we have partner forums, we do a weekly partner call. Looks like we got some questions. Are all the talks like the previous meeting before this and including Julian's talk available for rewatching somewhere? If so, can you provide a link? We don't have we don't provide a link right now for a replay of these. What we do is on our tutorial video page, we will provide highlights sometimes from the videos that we have up. And from a lot of the content that has come out of this Ninox live stream, we will be putting together highlight videos, which we'll be sharing on the website. Any other questions surrounding the program right now? No. So we got. See what we got in the chat. The corollary, is there a basic manual? The manual is available on our website. I can navigate to it and show you guys. So on our website, under support, you can just go to documentation, and this is the Ninox manual. There's code in here to get you guys started. It's searchable, so it's a great place to get up and running. Also, as far as resources for getting started, Julian talked about some of the ways that he started when he became a partner. Where do I have that? There we go. Oh, here we go. So these are our Ninox learning resources. The first one being the tutorial videos that are on our page. We do free webinars. Obviously, right now we're running all-day webinars, so there's a lot of great opportunities to interact with partners, to interact with our team at Ninox, and to learn about the platform. The Ninox manual we just showed, and the online forum is another great resource. If you have a question, somebody has probably already asked it on the Ninox forum, and if not, there's a large community of people who are interacting with each other and answering questions for each other. Third-party resource. All right. Okay, any other questions right now? All right, so for anyone who is interested in becoming part of the program, again, the best way to do that is to go to our website, to go to the Become a Partner page and submit information. Once we get in contact with you guys, we can assess whether or not it makes sense for you to join our partner network, which is here. This is the network of partners that we have around the world. Most of these companies are using Ninox exclusively, so they've organized their entire businesses around the Ninox platform. You know, some of them are working with other platforms as well. But no matter where you are in the world, hopefully there is a Ninox partner. And if you are from somewhere where we don't have a partner yet, it would be great to talk to you guys and get you engaged. So again, if you want to become part of the program, come here to the Become a Partner page, submit your information, and we will reach out to you directly. And actually, probably Yannick, who's on the call here, will be reaching out to some of you guys directly.
Hello, guys. Thank you for.
So Yannick just joined our team, and he's going to be taking over partner manager duties for the DACH region. Do you want to give a little introduction, Yannick?
Yes. So I'm very new at Ninox. I'm here since the 1st of April. As a chance to get to know the solution a little better, and I'm very surprised about all the possibilities you have with Ninox. So it's great. And so originally I'm from France, but I speak as well German, a little bit of English. So I hope, Maurice, you understand me. And yes, and I'm very happy if I can help you to become a partner in France or in the DACH region first, I think, Maurice, if it is correct. And that's all for now. I think I will give back to you the moderation.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Yannick. All right. If anybody else has questions, feel free to drop into the chat. But next week, I think we will continue the format to introduce you guys to new partners. And I think it's really great to kind of bring in partners from different walks of life and different backgrounds. Today with Julian, we saw somebody who was running his own tech company and was looking for a solution to really streamline his development of solutions in the HR space. But we have so many different stories for partners in our program. Sometimes it's somebody who just fell into the platform, was just loving building on it, and like we said, went down that rabbit hole and started building really complex integrations, really complex formulas, and decided that they wanted to build something for somebody else. Last week, I'd met with a woman who had just implemented something for her family's business. That database was shared with people around their network. Other people who are working in that industry were reaching out to her saying, "Hey, we want one of these too." And next thing you know, she's using another no-code platform to build a website, saying the things that she's doing so that she can join our partner program and provide those services to the people in her network. So even if you don't have a company right now, Ninox, the Ninox partner program is a great way to just get up and running and build a really sustainable, corona-proof B2B business that you can do from home and work with customers all around the world.
Very good, Maurice. Thank you.
All right. Just checking the chat. Do we have? Are we on Facebook and Twitch right now?
Yes, we are. So there are no questions currently.
Okay.
but John really likes Ninox and he's praising it. And he says that he has used Linux for multiple applications since 2016, both professionally and personally. Incredible platform with seemingly endless capabilities. Prior to working with Linux, he had very little experience with code and development, but by its simplistic design, he finds himself creating complex processes. And when got stuck with something, our customer service is exceptional and very helpful. So he recommends everyone to use Ninox. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, John, for such great words. And we at Ninox need customers like you, and we are always there to help you.
Yeah, I think that that's a really great point, and something that Julian brought up as well is that for people who are new to the platform, new to the program, there are a tremendous number of resources available to you to get up and running, and our support team is here always. Many of you have probably connected with Berger and Jorg on our support team. These guys are busy all day long. You can also check them out on the open office hours, 3 days a week right now. That's an open stream event on the Ninox live stream where you can drop in, ask questions to our support associates. Sometimes we have partners dropping in to answer questions as well. So if you have something that you've kind of run into that you're stuck on, that's a great place to drop in and just to see what other people are building. I think that's a fun segment just because everyone is excited to show what they're working on, to show maybe where they're having trouble and trying to get to that next step. So if you have something that you've been developing or you're thinking about a use case for a particular industry, feel free to pop into our open office hour segment, connect with our support associates. They'd be happy to help you with how you would organize a business around that, how you would complete a solution. All right. Seems like no questions right now. So what do we have coming up next, guys?
Yeah, so we have open innovation next with Dean
Okay,
and Maya.
and Dean is emailing me saying that he needs a link.
Yeah, can you please just provide him the link so that he can come out?
Will do. Just a second, guys. Okay, Dean should be joining us shortly. So today, Dean Westover will be talking about a solution that he developed for the insurance space, I believe, as part of our open innovation segment. Also another thing to keep to have on your radar for this week, on Thursday, we will host a no code panel. So the no code panel is a segment of the Ninox live stream every week on Thursdays, where we have industry leaders from different no code platforms, as well as implementation partners, thought leaders, enterprise partners, and startups who are embracing no code platforms to come on and talk about really the future of the space. Talk about how, you know, the coronavirus is driving digital transformation for lots of organizations right now. To talk about you know, what we think are going to be the most important no code skills to carry on into the future. So it's great. It's a great segment. The last couple of weeks we've had the teams from Integromat and Userlane come on to do demonstrations about their platform, which have been really powerful. And these are really passionate people around the no code space who have used lots of different tools and are happy to engage with a Q&A and to answer your questions about the space, about what tools they're using for different use cases. So it's very helpful stuff. Let's see if Dean has joined. Sorry, I got Dean is emailing me back and forth and he's having an issue joining. Just having some technical difficulties with Dean, but he'll be joining in a second. I'm just gonna give him a call real quick, Akash. I will
Yeah, sure, Maurice. Sure.
just
Maya has already joined us, so Maya will be
okay,
taking over.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, Maya. Hi.
Filling
Dean is
up what is happening here in the webinar.
We are waiting for Dean. He is having some technical problems. Maurice
Oh,
is giving him a call. So shortly we'll be starting with the open innovation session. Everyone is welcome. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We will add you to the panel. Happy learning.
happy learning. It's always nice to see plenty of attendees. We are very happy to have you here with us, always.
Questions about what we can ask?
Yes?
About what? About what subject? General?
Well, now Maurice had how to become a partner, if I'm right. And now we are going to start with open innovation. So we will have some of the companies who are to improve their business, implement Ninox.
Okay.
So Ian is I correctly pronounce your name?
Ioannis.
Ioannis, hi, hello. So
Hello.
greetings. You can just check out our page for the webinar schedule, and according to the topic, you can join the webinar and ask your questions.
Yes. Sorry, I was following, but I picked up the phone and I lost a little bit.
And no problem. So Dean is with us now.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you though.
Okay. I think Zoom has changed in the last few days.
Did it?
They are innovating quickly with over 200 million new users in the past month.
Wow.
Wow.
That's good.
Talk about being a unicorn startup at the exact right time, you know?
Yes, exactly. Okay, where is my video? Here it is.
There should be a start video in the bottom left.
It's not in the usual place.
Yeah, someone is asking what happened to Skype. Yeah, it's just curious. Yeah, we also don't know what happened to Skype. Somehow it's
It's
old
been
school.
dead some time now.
Old school.
I hate to say it, but I don't have that option in my mute. I only have the mute option.
Do you want to just share your screen instead, Dean?
Hey, wait.
I think I have to be given permission.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Host. Yeah.
I'm looking.
I thought we promoted you to panelist, Dean, but let me.
Yeah, he is a panelist. Akash?
I can't
Hang on just a second. He's coming back. Dean, you got it now? All right.
Yay.
You're still on mute though, so now we can't hear you.
Unmuted in directly.
Okay. I have many more options now.
All right, that's great.
Okay.
So everyone, this is Dean Westover. He's one of our Ninox partners from the United States. And you're going to be showing us a solution in the insurance space today, right, Dean?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Great.
Maybe want to make it. You can maybe make it a little bit bigger. We're just seeing the small window.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay. So I'll turn all the way. Okay, my name is.
You want to give us a little introduction?
Yes, my name is Dean Westover. I own Choices Software. We're located just outside of Boston, and we specialize in solutions for the insurance industry, specifically the property casualty insurance industry. And we've been in business for over 30 years, and we specialize in forms software and insurance agency management software. We started out 30 years ago with locally installed software. In fact, we had one person that did nothing but mail out CDs all day, every day. And after about 15 years, when the cloud started to be available, we decided that might be a good option for our users. So we came out with a product named Agency Anywhere. And that is a forms-centric agency management system, sort of a form-centric CRM solution. And that's what you're seeing right now in front of you. The solution that we the first solution that we had on the cloud was called Agency Anywhere. And the solution, the version of Agency Anywhere for insurance agencies in the Ninox cloud is called Agency Anywhere Custom. And the reason for that is when we started out about 15 years ago with Agency Anywhere in the US, we found that many of our users wanted to be able to customize the solution. And our solution initially was a multi-tenant solution that was served to insurance agents in all 50 US states, and was served from one central database, which was a little bit unusual at that time. So once we got it out there, it was very well received, but we did find that people wanted to have the ability to customize the solution, which we could not do. So we looked around, we found the Ninox cloud, and it seems to be a good fit for us. And our customers do seem to be liking the option to have a system that can be easily customized. Now, what you're seeing here is just sort of a typical CRM solution. I have it showing right now contacts. And within the contacts detail, we have transactions, policies, invoices, losses, vehicles, documents. For insurance agencies, it's very important that they be able to keep track of each phone call, each communication, and make sure that nothing falls by the wayside. So we have a simple transaction table that lets them assign a ticket number to each call in and or each communication, and they can easily track their transactions in that way. Now, within each transaction, we've made it so that users can easily send an email that contains the contents of their discussion, or they can assign the transaction to a calendar. Right now, the calendar is selected, or they can select email, which would just allow them to quickly, with one click, send out a copy of their discussion with their insured.
How have you facilitated sending that email, Dean? Have you integrated Gmail, or are you using the direct from Ninox option?
I'm using the direct Ninox option, which is actually working quite well for us. So
that's great.
And with the calendar option, whoops. With the calendar option, they can set any of the properties, such as the date, the time, if they want to include an icon or not, text color, background, so that when they go to the calendar over on the left, each item that they've added is right there. If they want to go to a particular record, they just click on it. In this case, it goes right back to the transaction. So that we're finding that our customers appreciate the simplicity and both the power and simplicity of this Ninox solution. We've also integrated a dashboard. So the dashboard, at the very top, you can see there's policies and invoices. And within each category, they can bring up various charts. And this gives them a very quick overview of their business, both a pie chart and a donut as well. And they can do this with either their policies or their invoices. Now, we also have an option for forms. In this case, we provide two options. They can either bring up a listing of PDF fill-in forms. This is a list of 750 plus forms that are used in the insurance industry. So whatever they click on, they can just open the form, fill it in, and in this case, they'd save it to the desktop. Whoops, I think I just knocked myself out. Okay, we're back in there again. Sorry about that. We also give them the option with one click to be able to jump right into our Agency Anywhere solution. The reason for that is that it has many advanced features for forms, such as combination of forms, emailing of forms, sorting them in various orders before you combine them and email them out. So if they want to, they can, with one click, go into sort of a parallel system. Maybe what I should do is just sort of sit back and listen to any questions you have. I'd be glad to, talk about any, our experiences with Ninox and anything you might want to ask me.
Yeah, sure. I would maybe ask, what are the key features? What do you think the customers appreciate the most? What blown you away with the Ninox application?
Well, I think that, again, in our particular situation, we have a lot of customers that are used to our previous solution, which we still offer, that cannot be customized. And the fact that with what we have been doing is we'll give a 15-day period during which they can try this solution out. And we actually talk to them over the phone. And while we are talking to them, we can customize the solution during the discussion. So if they see, for example, they want to add fields, or they want to add tabs, whatever the issue may be, we can show them how quickly that can be done. And that's never been available in the insurance industry before. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of a brand new concept that you can actually in the browser bring up a solution and be able to make major changes to it right away.
Yeah, very, very handy. I think we had some hands raised from I. Hello? Someone raised a hand, but...
Yeah, I think maybe they figure out...
yeah, could be.
Saying sorry, so my mistake.
Anyhow,
just to interrupt real quick, if you guys have questions, if you guys want to participate in the discussion, raise your hands. We will bring you into the panel. If you have a question that you want to say in person, or if you just have a question that you want to just share by text, you can also do that. We really want to take your feedback in and your go into your questions. Sorry, Maya, I didn't want to interrupt you.
So basically, you are also onboarding in some way your customers so they can use Ninox however they want, if I'm right.
Exactly.
And how long does this process take for you, for your customers?
I would say it seems to be about a 90-day process with us, because we have a special situation where we have large amounts of data that we have to convert for people. And that's sort of been an interesting side of it as well. When we first developed the solution that you're looking at, we thought that we would bring people's data into this solution, and the tables would be pretty much frozen, and that would be it. But we're actually finding that it's a little different than we expected, because we're, especially with the new customers, because they're coming in from other systems that have totally different tables.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through a process with one customer where we converted all their data from their previous system into the system you're looking at. And they end up losing some of their data just because we didn't have common tables, rows and columns, compared to what they had before. So the next situation that we ran into, we tried it a different way. We said, give us your data, and what we will do is we will bring 100% of your data into the Ninox solution.
Mm-hmm.
And this sort of got their attention, because they used to, if they change their system from one provider to another, they'll lose maybe 50% or 30% of their data.
And that's
But
not acceptable, of course.
Yeah, but we found that by actually readjusting our tables to their data, we could salvage 100% of their data and bring it into a solution that looks exactly the same, except it actually has all the fields that they're used to seeing. And we could do it very quickly, which is just one more major advantage of the Ninox system for us and for our customers.
Yeah, I guess you are doing this with exporting, importing CSV file.
That's exactly right, yes.
Yeah, so it's very quick and easy, but of course, yeah, you have to adjust the tables. Yeah, that's for
now
sure.
We also ran into another situation that some other developers might find interesting, in terms of bringing data that it had been in a different system into the Ninox system. As most developers know, it is possible to take data from different tables and relate the data after you bring it into Ninox.
Yeah.
You can create a little script that will do that. However, we found the first time we tried that, it worked beautifully, except it would only work with small pieces of data. So then we thought, well, that's a problem, because we have customers that want to bring 30,000 records in, and we were maxing out. We'd go to import and relate records, and after about 200, it would conk out. So we found a solution for that, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
At first, we didn't even think of it. And that was to use the, on the Mac, of course, you have a local installation you can do of Ninox. So we just took about 5 minutes to download the local version and install the local version of Ninox. Then we brought our data in and ran the same script to relate, two more related tables, and it went through 30,000 records, no problem. So just for that one purpose, to take it off of the cloud, bring it local. And it was interesting to us, because we had not used the local version of Ninox before. Because in the insurance industry, it's primarily not Mac, it's still the IBM Windows. So when we first downloaded the Mac version of Ninox, we were surprised to see that it instantly was connected to our cloud Ninox tables. So that was just one more thing that was very positive. And we were able to do a very large data conversion pretty quickly that way. So then once we had the data in there, we just went back to the cloud, and everything was related the way our customer would expect. So that was good.
Very cool. Maybe one question I have. You mentioned that you have your old solution still, or you still offer it. Maybe you can highlight for us the differences between the Ninox solution, the old solution, especially focus on how people use it. So how people use the, do people use the Ninox solution differently than the purpose-built solution you had before?
Oh, okay. Let's see if we can do that.
Are you going to show us the old solution?
Yes, I can do that. So as I mentioned before, they have the option, have the